Good morning everybody. Welcome to DPS Dhaka. I am going to teach the student of class 7 the chapter we have started, the nutrition in plants. So in the first lecture I have already uploaded the two lectures. In the previous lectures I have discussed the various modes of nutrition in plants and animals, and also I have discussed what is photosynthesis, what do you mean by autotrophic mode of nutrition, what is photosynthesis, what are the byproduct of photosynthesis, and what are the materials required for the photosynthesis to occur, in which part of the plant photosynthesis occurs. So I discussed that carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll and sunlight is necessary for the photosynthesis to occur, and the photosynthesis generally occurs in the green parts of the plant, for example leaves and the young branches of the plants. So in this chapter, in this lecture I have to discuss the roles of leaves in photosynthesis. What is the role of leaves in photosynthesis? Actually the photosynthesis occurs generally in the leaves. So what is the role of leaves in photosynthesis? Synthesis of plant food occur in leaves. Synthesis means to prepare food, and the plants make their food in the green leaves. So photosynthesis generally occurs in the leaves and also the young branches, the green branches of the leaves plant. It contains chlorophyll which helps to capture sunlight, because your green leaves contains chlorophyll which you can see here on the board. The green leaves contain chlorophyll which helps in the capture of sunlight, because sunlight is also necessary for photosynthesis, and the capture of sunlight occurs only because of the presence of chlorophyll. A small tiny pores are present on the leaves which helps in the exchange of gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen and water. So without leaves, without the pores on the leaves, this photosynthesis would not have been possible, because when the transpiration occurs through the small pores of the leaves, you see here this is the leaf of a plant. So small pores are present from the upside and the downside as well. The small pores are called stomata, and through these small pores the exchange of gases and the transpiration process occurs, and because of the transpiration process the water is sucked up to the leaves from the soil. So this transpiration process is also very necessary. What is transpiration? The evaporation process taking place from the leaves is called transpiration. So transpiration is also necessary, because when the transpiration occurs, when the evaporation of the water takes place through these small pores, the water is sucked up into the leaf through the root from the soil. So this transpiration process occurs through the stomata, through these small pores. So leaf is very important in photosynthesis, because this water is necessary for photosynthesis to occur. I have already told you what are the four conditions. So when this transpiration and the exchange of gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen, so through these small pores the carbon dioxide enters into the leaves, and therefore it is necessary for the photosynthesis. So leaves are very important in the process of photosynthesis. What is stomata? What is these pores called? These small holes are called stomatal opening. So stomatal opening is like this. You can see in the picture. These are the cells of the leaves. These are the epithelial cell. Epithelial cell means skin cell. These are the epithelial cells of the leaves, skin cells of the leaf, and these are the guard cells. Guard cells are of kidney shape, and these guard cells actually control the stomatal opening. So sometimes it is open. So in this case the guard cell is open, relaxed like this, and the opening is present here. So the exchange of gases like carbon dioxide, water and oxygen would take place through these small pores. But in this case the stomatal opening is closed, the guard cell are closed. So opening is not present here. So this is closed guard cell, and this is closed stomata, and this is open stomata. So you have been clear that these leaves are very important for the photosynthesis to occur, because these stomatal openings on the leaves and the chlorophyll in the leaves are necessary for the photosynthesis, because the chlorophyll helps in the capture of sunlight, and these pores helps in the exchange of gases like carbon dioxide, which is necessary for photosynthesis, and transpiration process through these pores also helps in the pooling of the water to the leaves, and water is also necessary for photosynthesis. So what is reduced? So the next topic will be reduced leaf in desert plants. Desert plant. In desert area, the plants which are living in the desert area having reduced leaf. Why so? Because if the area of the leaf is bigger, the more transpiration, more evaporation of water from the surface of the leaf will take place, and therefore the availability of water in the body of the plant will be reduced. So therefore the leaves are reduced, and for example, in case of cactus plants, their leaves reduce to the spine. Their leaves reduce because there is in those areas, like in desert areas, there is less rainfall and there is availability of water is lesser in the soil. So to prevent the loss of water in the form of transpiration, their leaves reduce to a spine. Spine means कांटेदार. Their leaves reduce to a spine, becomes a spine, so that the surface area gets reduced and lesser transpiration can take place and loss of water can be reduced. So that loss of water can be by the process of transpiration can be stopped. Also the stem of these plants becomes green, and the stem of these plants, like in case of cactus plants, the stem part of the cactus plants becomes green, so that it can have chlorophyll and photosynthesis can take place. So the leaves of the plant get reduced to a spine in the area having less rainfall. So leaves of various colors except green. So you might have seen various plants having no green leaf. All the leaves of the plant is of different color. For example, yellow, green, or red. So a question must arise in your mind: what happens to those plants which are not having any green leaf? So does photosynthesis occur in those plants, and how they make their food? This question must rise in your mind. But I will explain the reason. What is the reason? Red, brown, or yellow color leaves. Actually, what happens in these colored leaves also have chlorophyll present in it, but the amount of the red, brown, or yellow color is more. So that actually it hides the presence of chlorophyll in the leaves. But there is a presence of chlorophyll in the leaf, and the photosynthesis occurs in those leaves also. But only the reason is that the red or brown or yellow color is more, so this actually hides the presence of chlorophyll, but there is chlorophyll present in those leaves. Example of this red color leaf is croton. Croton is a plant which is having dark red color leaves. But this doesn't mean that the leaf is not having any chlorophyll. The leaf is having chlorophyll, but the red color pigment is more and the green color pigment is less. So this red color is hiding the green color, but there is chlorophyll present in the leaves, and the photosynthesis occurs in those leaves. What do you mean by variegated leaves? Variegated leaves means the leaves having small white patches on it. So you might have seen that some leaves are having both green and white color. So the leaves which are having both type of colors are called variegated leaves. Example of the variegated leaf is money plant. Now the next topic will be: what is the importance of photosynthesis? What is the importance of photosynthesis? Does photosynthesis have any importance in our life? Yes, photosynthesis is very important, because without photosynthesis, life would not have been possible on Earth. Because what happens? What are the good things about the photosynthesis? Life would not have been possible without photosynthesis, because all organisms are directly or indirectly dependent on photosynthesis, because by this process foods are made in the plants, and we animals cannot make our food in our body. We are indirectly dependent on the plant body. Various type of fruits, vegetables, and various type of plant stem part we eat, and without this photosynthesis, they cannot survive. Plant cannot survive, and without plants, we cannot survive. Also, in the other way, by the process of photosynthesis, a byproduct oxygen is released into the atmosphere, and the a very important life process, that is respiration, occurs in animals and plants with the help of this oxygen. You all know that we inhale oxygen. So these oxygens in the atmosphere is released by the process of photosynthesis. Otherwise, if the photosynthesis does not occur, there would be shortage of oxygen in the atmosphere, and we will not be able to respire, and so we will not be able to survive. All the life is possible with this photosynthesis. Also, the process of photosynthesis help to balance carbon dioxide level of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. As you can see in the picture, this is a plant. In the process of photosynthesis, this plant takes carbon dioxide into the leaves, and while having photosynthesis, these leaves of the plant release oxygen into the atmosphere, and we human being or any other animal inhale oxygen, and the respiration occurs in their body, and they get energy, and in return they release carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and simultaneously this carbon dioxide is inhaled by the plant for the photosynthesis. So the cycle of this oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere takes place, and that is how the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide is maintained by the process of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is very important. So go through the book and have a better concept of these topics. Go through the book or read line by line, and if there is any questions given, in-text question given, try to do those questions. I will cover the next topic in next video, and thank you. Have a nice day. Good day.